Hey Gen X, remember the movie Defending Your Life when Daniel Miller, played by Albert Brooks, dies in a car accident, has to defend his life by showing how he overcame his fear. In the trial, the prosecutor plays clips of his questionable decisions. It was so funny. I'm not sure if I'm at that existential phase of my life, but I do want to make smart decisions, and I am betting you do too. In today's video, I'm going to describe 3 types of stupid decisions and 1 type of smart decision. You see, stupidity isn't about IQ, and it isn't about personality. It's about actions that destroy your value or the values for everyone. If you grew up in Gen X, you saw stupidity institutionalized. History lessons from Chernobyl and the Challenger disaster, financial collapses, 9/11, wars, housing crisis, and January 6th. There's a pretty simple way to identify whether an action is stupid, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. 4 ways to measure any action, 3 of which are stupid. As Gen Xers nearing or planning retirement, we want to get this right. We want to have learned from our mistakes, but have we learned the right lesson from those mistakes? We get caught up in specifics, in people's personalities, when it doesn't have to be that complicated. There's this little known essay I read in college by Carlo Cipolla, an Italian economic historian. He didn't define stupidity as ignorance or low intelligence, which I am grateful for. He defined it economically. A person is stupid if their actions cost others and themselves without a justifiable benefit. This framework is sharp and simple and easy to apply to ourselves and to the actions that we see around us. Not personality, not education, not status, just the cost and benefit of an action. When we make mistakes, we should be able to answer the question, what is the cost? And not all costs are dollars. Cost can mean time, attention, and other resources. Who pays the price? And who gets the benefit? As Gen Xers, we grew up skeptical and saw stupidity around us a lot. But it's not Western culture. It's human beings. Cipolla's categories give us a way to look at motives before judging actions and measure those ideas by what they actually produce. Let's start with the smart decision first. No, wait, let's not. Let's save that for last. Let's start with the bandits. Cipolla's first type of stupidity he calls bandits. They make decisions that benefit themselves but harm others or cost others. Some people would say, well, that's smart because they've learned how to get what they want by taking from others. I personally find that wrong and stupid. Gen X saw this everywhere. Remember corporate greed in the 80s and 90s where profits soared while trust in products collapsed. And the world saw it again in the housing crisis when we lost our homes and tax dollars bailed out the banks. That is bandit stupidity. The lesson here, bandits are the basic thief and grifter, but they're predictable. At least you know their motive is self-interest. You can call them out and you can guard against them. The second type of stupidity is the helpless. Now, I think I've been this before. Cipolla said that type of stupidity are actually people that make decisions that harm themselves. They pay the price and the benefit goes to somebody else. These are self-sacrificing friends and maybe us once in a while. I laugh because as a teacher, I would often be a bit of a martyr, taking the students no one else wanted in order to earn gratitude. It didn't work. It often made me miserable, so not very smart. As Gen Xers, we see friends who sacrifice too much for systems that never paid them back, loyalty to companies that laid them off, devotions to institutions that failed them. I can be included in this category several times in my life. The lesson here is that helplessness is tragic, not noble. This reminds us that good intentions aren't enough. Outcomes matter. And the third type of stupidity, the truly stupid decisions. But first, I want to thank my subscribers for their support. This is a new channel, and I'm just trying out different things to share with you. I'm still learning how to create videos for my channel, so I appreciate you more than a cold drink on a hot day. Well, anyway, you know what I mean. Okay, on to the truly stupid decisions. Actions that harm others and themselves. History lessons from Chernobyl, Challenger.com, 9/11. So many examples of the truly stupid decisions that institutions and political people make. So Gen X saw these short-sighted decisions that collapse value for everybody, and well, maybe a few can come out on top, but policies that wreck the trust of the system. I mean, no wonder we don't trust politics. Public policy where leaders have quick, simple solutions to complicated problems, and they don't work and cost us a lot. So let's take Chernobyl, for example. Victor Brikhanov, the man in charge of nuclear safety. He wasn't a nuclear engineer. He managed a shoe factory before being appointed director of Chernobyl nuclear power plant. That's not stupidity of the individual. He was competent in his field. It's stupidity of the system. A system that thought loyalty and quotas mattered more than expertise. Now, Sapola would ask, was this banditry or stupidity? On the surface, it looks like banditry. The party gained short-term control by appointing a loyal manager, but in reality, it collapsed into pure stupidity. The decision harmed others. It harmed Viktor Brikhanov himself. He ended up in prison. It destroyed the very system that appointed him. It cost the people, the country, and the planet with no benefits. As Gen X, we grew up watching institutions make these kinds of mismatched decisions. Shoe factory managers running nuclear power plants, bureaucrats running schools, corporations putting profits over safety. And as expats, we see it not just in history, across cultures. Appointments are made for loyalty, not competence. The result is the same: actions that destroy value for everyone. That's why Sapola's framework matters. You don't judge decisions by personality or credentials or by status. Judge by actions and outcomes. So that brings us to intelligent decisions. Sapola's framework said intelligent people act in ways that benefit both themselves and others. From a Gen X perspective, these are rare grassroots movements that actually worked. Community projects, do-it-yourself culture, movements where cooperation created value. I think of the 1970s and 80s, community-led recycling centers open, run by volunteers. 1984, Minnesota launched the state-funded anti-smoking media campaign. Personally, making decisions that help ourselves and others sound really difficult, but it isn't if you think about it. As an expat, I see this in local initiatives that uplift communities, neighbors pooling resources, small cooperatives that thrive. The reason we don't hear or see these in the news is that these smart decisions do not enrich individuals. or corporations, and they're not quick fixes, and they're not controversial. The lesson here is the smartest decisions, the best leadership is cooperative value creation. It's not about being clever, it's about outcomes that uplift everyone. Sapola's point was clear. Don't judge by personality, education, or status. And I find this comforting. I've never claimed to be the smartest tool in the shed, and my decisions don't always work out in my favor. But if I apply this framework, I can see where I went wrong and hopefully make adjustments. Okay, I think you can see it in the turmoil of the US and the world right now. Why Sapola warned that stupidity is more dangerous than malice. More dangerous because it's unpredictable and destructive. So the takeaway is simple. If you want intelligent societies, you need to judge ideas by their outcomes, not by the personalities behind them. Because stupidity isn't a trait, it's a choice that destroys opportunities for everyone. Take a moment this week and see if you can spot examples of the 3 stupid types of decisions. That's all that has been on my mind this week as the war in Iran escalates and affects the world's energy supply chain, costing lives and money. And for what? Is there a mastermind bandit making money off the use of weapons, the increase in oil prices, and all-around chaos? Or is it just stupid, not helping anyone and causing everyone harm? That's all for today. Thank you again for watching my channel. Until next time, lead, follow, or get out of the way.